99.5% of your genetic code is not human. I had to pause so that you guys could contemplate that. 0.5% of your genetic code is actually human. 99.5% comes from these microbes. They are the majority of our genetic code. And then there's more. Point number 2, these microbes have the ability to regulate and change the expression of our genetics. We call this epigenetics. It's like having a light switch. Our genetic code, what we were born with, is basically like, imagine the wiring behind the wall for whether or not you're going to turn on the light that's overhead, right? So you're born with the wiring. But the question is someone flipping the switch? And the answer is that the person who has their finger on the switch and gets to make the call are your gut microbes. And we've actually seen this proven, Sean. Let me give you a quick example. So many people have heard of celiac disease. Celiac disease is the origin of the gluten-free movement, because celiac disease is where people have an autoimmune reaction to gluten, which is a protein that you will find in wheat, barley, and rye. These people who have celiac disease, when they consume gluten, their immune system goes on the attack, and it actually attacks their intestine. All right, now, what's interesting is, so first of all, celiac disease is genetically motivated. What I mean by that is that if you don't have the gene for celiac, you can't have celiac. It's not possible. But the gene is extremely common. 1 out of 3 people have the gene for celiac disease. Here's what's weird. We have seen a 500% increase in celiac disease in the last 50 years. And we're asking the question, the scientists are asking the question, where is that coming from? Why is this disease exploding? And it's not a change in our genetics. So the question is, why are we seeing more today? I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. I had a day where I diagnosed 3 people in one day with celiac disease. Okay, this is supposed to be 1% of Americans have this. And I diagnosed 3 people in one day. It's on the rise literally right now. So to answer the question, where does celiac disease come from and why are we seeing this rise? There are 3 steps that you need to develop celiac disease. You need to have the gene. That's a requirement. 1 out of 3 of us have that. You need to also be exposed to gluten. That's a requirement. Well, guess what? You live in North America, you've been exposed to gluten. We all have, right? There's no one who's been raised on a diet where they're not exposed. But here's the key. This is the game changer. Number 3, to activate the gene and have celiac disease requires damage to the gut microbiome.